some emergency attention. Go to the hospital, get his brain checked. That was a serious punch by Lomachenko. He is still out.
What up, Fight World?
Right now, he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, according to ESPN.com.
Let's get it.
And he just acted like it. Let's make it official with Jimmy Lennon Jr. Ladies and
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. I just watched Lomachenko versus Anthony Crolla. I'm gonna get my post-fight thoughts. Hold on, let's get it set up. Can everybody hear me? If y'all hear me, put your fives up and smash the like button. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this fight. I'm gonna break it down. If you can hear and you want to get this party started, put your fives up. 5. He said Toyota Corolla's transmission went out. Listen, oh, this is gonna be a good one. I got a lot to say. Yeah, I got a lot to say. Let's get it. Stream King has returned. First of all, shout out to Lomachenko continuing his win streak. He knocked out Anthony Crolla. I don't even know what round it was. The 5th round, maybe? I think maybe the 5th round. He won every round. I don't really see how you could see any round for Anthony Crolla. And he looked sharp. Like against who he was in there with, he looked sharp. He had his way. He controlled the rhythm of the fight, the ebb and flow. You know, really, there was no moment where Anthony Crolla really got off. He looked intimidated. He looked timid. You guys got to smash the like button. If you want these live streams to come, you know, directly after, as opposed to the regular videos, y'all got to get those likes up. So if you guys could do me a favor, smash the like button. We working. Yeah, he just dominated Crolla. That was his mandatory. Took care of business. So props to him for that. Wish a speedy recovery to Anthony Crolla. He's probably gonna have to go get checked out and not go to the post-fight press conference because he was done for. He fell face first. You know, he felt kind of crazy. You know, he felt like Damon Wayans on that Men on Film. Remember when that sandbag hit Damon Wayans on The Living Color and he fell? He fell face first. Oh my gosh. Listen, Mark Vargas, all you guys in the comment section, please stop. He said Gervonta Davis would get worked easily. I'm going to just tell y'all like this. A lot of y'all motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. It's just what it is. Okay, first of all, we've never seen anybody do that to Gervonta Tank Davis, so Lomachenko would be the first to do it. Second of all, you know, they said, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I seen it on Twitter with the betting site. They said Lomachenko was a 400-1 favorite. Even on the telecast, they said it was 100-1 favorite. So, once again, like I do, new media, you got to put the win in perspective. Lomachenko looked good. He did his damn thing. He looked sharp. But we're talking about someone who is a 100-400-1 favorite versus an underdog with 5 losses, now 6. It's completely different. Completely different. That's how I know who knows boxing. That's how I know who knows boxing, because y'all just you can't, that's like saying, because Canelo beat Rocky Fielding and he beat him easily, he's going to easily beat Daniel Jacobs. If he does it, he does it. But there's nothing to really compare between Daniel Jacobs and Rocky Fielding in terms of caliber, pedigree. You know, the only thing you can say is they're both taller than Canelo. So, yeah, you guys got to fall back with that. Anyway, Lomachenko, he did his thing. What's next? You know, like I said, there's nothing to really say about his performance. It was what most people expected, you know, including the odds makers, which is why this was at least 100-1 in favor for Lomachenko to win. So he takes care of his mandatory. Like, again, for me, I got to see that against somebody that I know is formidable. I don't know how Mikey Garcia is going to look coming off of a embarrassing loss to Errol Spence at a higher weight, and he took a lot of punishment there. But like, if Mikey, when he was undefeated, or maybe even the once beaten Mikey, if he did that to Mikey, then obviously I would have to give him more credit, especially since Errol Spence at 47 didn't even stop Mikey. You know what I'm saying? So if he did it to Tank Davis, Miguel Berchelt, you know, Salido, if they did an immediate rematch, you guys, a lot of you guys just run off crazy off of performances without caring who's in the, you know, who's in the ring. Like Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, he just stopped his man. His man quit on the stool on this very card, moved up to 175. He fought a guy that Chad Dawson fought with one arm, had an injury, like a shoulder injury in there. Tom Carpesy. Adonis Stevenson knocked him out, right? And he looked good, you know. Gilberto Ramirez looked good, but once again, he didn't do that to Kovalev. He didn't do that to Artur Beterbiev. He didn't do that to Vodstick. He didn't do that to Anthony Yard. So, you know, people got to put that in perspective. Fans, you know, is the root word fan. That's the root word of the term fanatical. Some of you guys are fanatical, bro. You know, you talking about Tank gets destroyed because of a guy with 5 losses from the UK who already lost to a guy that Lomachenko beat. That's not hate. That's just what the fuck it is, you know. Or if he did that to Teofimo, you know, that's another adequate name. If he looked like that versus Teofimo, because Teofimo, from what I've seen, can box. He can bang. He can box. He does some things different. Big, good size. You know, shoulders is filled out, confident. So this is we're talking about levels and different shit. But again, props to Lomachenko. He handled business with his mandatory, but I got to put that in perspective, just like any other fight. And it's so funny that old media, they try it every single time. If Deontay Wilder knocks out, you know, Eric Molina, gets no credit. You know, if he knocks out Dominic Breazeale, old media will, oh, that's his mandatory. They'll say, oh, I'm not impressed. You know, Anthony Joshua knocked him out, you know, but Lomachenko, because he knocked out his mandatory, you know, they're, oh, this is crazy. Yeah, that referee cam was sick. There was a moment in the fight that was a little weird. Lomachenko was just teeing off on the boy, Crolla, with his defense. He was like just trying to evade shit. Loma thought he TKO'd him, went over to the turnbuckle and started like celebrating. And Jack Reese was like doing a countdown. And Lomachenko and the commission got in. There's like 2 members from the commission got in. They thought the fight was over. They seen Lomachenko celebrating, and everybody seen Crolla like, you know, getting fucked up on the ropes, and, you know, but reality, Jack Reese had ruled it a knockdown because Corolla's bottom kept him up. Shout to Tony P. Ego exposes the true bias. Yeah, we gonna get into it. Like I said, I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers is talking about. Y'all can say whatever you want. I'm just telling you how I feel. The ropes held Crolla up, so Jack Reese, accordingly, that counts as a knockdown, so he did a count. Lomachenko started celebrating. I'm sure the adrenaline started leaving his body. Kind of like when Wilder knocked out, so we thought.
This the real deal.
Easy work. Make sure, listen, you guys got to smash the like button. It's very similar to when Wilder thought he knocked out Tyson Fury. You know, it was the same type of reaction. Wilder doing the shimmy and dancing, thinking it's over, you know, and it wasn't over. So Lomachenko looked a little bit like, oh, hell no. And then the bell rang. But then the very next round, he got destroyed anyway. So it didn't really even matter. You know, it could have been stopped at. But, you know, Jack Reese, he got to watch it because he involved in Wilder Fury fight too. You know, he going to have people hot because his refereeing has had these weird moments. You know what I'm saying? The Wilder Fury fight, and then now this had this. But I don't think he made the wrong call, but you get what I'm saying. It's just the perception. Like, damn, you're in big fights, like big, you know, fights. And there's these weird scenarios with the count.
This the real deal. This the real deal.
Shout out to Vidal Pierce, $2 super chat. Hard to watch Loma fights because of the commentary. Bro, that's what... I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to begin, bro. Like I said, you guys can listen to whatever you want. I'm giving you my perspective. Lomachenko did his thing. He looked sharp against who he was in there with. That's the reality. That's what I put in perspective. You know, ESPN's commentary, like a lot of it, they're just saying, like, it just sounds like, you know, they're just building it up. Like, okay, here's the thing I didn't like. I'll tell you, smash the like button. This is what I didn't like. They're already starting to paint this narrative. This is what old media continues to do. They're already painting this narrative that Lomachenko is not a true lightweight. And he's just like, you know, so bold and brazen and daring that he has moved up, you know, because he's in search of valor, but he's really, you know, a featherweight or 130 pounder. They're already start spinning this narrative before the fight even started. You know, this is what old media does. It's like an insurance policy, because you notice Lomachenko talked about moving back down to 130. He said he might move back down to 130. He even offered, he said, oh, if I fight Tank, I can move back down to 130. That's usually not a good sign. So this is my thing. I'm not even trying to be me. I'm being honest like I always do on my channel. How is Lomachenko the pound for pound number one if the commentary and the perception is he's moved up and things aren't, like, basically I tweeted this too. Let me pull it up so you guys can see. Like, I keep it G. You already know what it is. Smash the like button. I'm gonna read my tweet and then I'm gonna explain it to you guys. Smash the like button. Look. So I pushed this. This is before the fight started. Now that Lomachenko's past two fights have gotten visibly tougher at lightweight, Arum and Lomachenko pushing this narrative that Loma is not really a 135 pounder. His quote true weight is really 130 pounds, but he decided to move up without unifying 130, and he seemed confident. LOL #new media. So here's the thing. The fights besides this one, because this was before this outcome, but his other fights with Linares and Pedraza were tough. They were tougher than the previous fights at 126 and 130 minus Salido. So the fights got tougher, and now they were like setting up this insurance policy where they're trying to paint this narrative that Lomachenko is really not a lightweight. So this is the thing. When do you see people usually in the sport of boxing consider moving down? You know what I'm saying? You don't really see that. So he realized that the fights got tougher. Now, maybe this builds his confidence because he got a stoppage. You know, he got another stoppage and he dominated the rounds. But you usually don't see people move down unless they're having struggles. Like Andre Ward specifically told me when he was active that after he moved up in chase of Kovalev, he wasn't moving back down to 168. And most people close to 30 or over 30 that box will tell you that, because they don't want to do that to their body. They don't want to, you know, move up and then try to move back down later in life, because it's not really good. You know, your body that's like Gilberto Ramirez. He's probably going to stay at heavyweight. They said he weighed 196 today after he rehydrated. So if he moves down to 168, you just gave your body a break in making 175 instead of 168. So then you really going to have to kill yourself if you just ballooned up to 196 and then you go back trying to make 168 in Gilberto Ramirez's case. So the same thing with Lomachenko. They're trying to paint this narrative that he's not a true lightweight. But doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of pound for pound? He's pound for pound number one. You're basically acknowledging the fights got harder and then still trying to rank them. You don't usually regress or hit the reverse and flip a bitch and go do a U-turn when you're moving up in weight. Like, we don't hear Terrence Crawford talking about, I'm going back down to 140 to fight Regis Prograis or Josh Taylor, because he's up there. You don't see Canelo talking about, yo, I want to go back down to 154, 155. So that doesn't make sense. Hey, block this Nico motherfucker, bro. Shooters, block him. I'm sick of seeing the same dude. He's just leaving the same comment. Get him out of here. This is not a channel for fanboys. This is here for real boxing talk. People who want to talk real boxing. Go over to ESPN. They live stream, bro. Get out of here. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you. Shooters, y'all gotta hold this fort down, bro. Cause I'm not here. I'm just trying to talk boxing. I'm just giving you my perspective, and I'm gonna get something to eat and I'm gonna be out. But yeah, the ESPN commentary is always like shaded with Lomachenko heavily. Mark Kriegel, he might be a good dude. You know, I never really met him, but he seems like his commentary is weird. Like he seems like he's trying to make everything too deep. Like they had this backstory where Lomachenko in the clips was at a gym or a swimming pool holding his breath. And he was like, yeah, Lomachenko, he holds his breath for 3 minutes and 1 second, but he would probably hold his breath for up to 5 minutes for Gervonta Tank Davis or Mikey Garcia. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Lomachenko will bully Mikey Garcia. Like I said, I'm not in my opinion, a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. So I'm just going to say this. Let's see it. If Lomachenko will bully Mikey Garcia at 135, let's see it. Like, see, this is the thing. Let's see Lomachenko in there with Pacquiao, with Teofimo, with Mikey Garcia, with Miguel Berchelt would even be a step in the right direction. Gervonta Tank Davis, we could judge that a whole lot more than Anthony Crolla. We're talking about a guy, he had 5 losses, bro. Like, come on, man. Y'all just be saying whatever, going off of singular performances. So, like I said, if anybody says whatever, let's just see it. You need to write a letter to Top Rank, go to their Twitter feed, and blow them up and say, Lomachenko. Okay, and this is the thing. If Lomachenko will bully Mikey Garcia, who's an experienced guy he had more fights than Errol Spence as a pro, right? Then why can't we even see Lomachenko versus Teofimo, and they're on the same label? They're on the same side. Like, it doesn't even make sense because Teofimo don't even have the experience. So why don't you just get him out the game? You know, derail him like Mayweather did with Canelo. You get what I'm saying? Why don't you derail him? If you think he could beat Mikey Garcia easily and bully him, then why can't we get Teofimo? Because Teofimo is a dope fighter, but he ain't proved what Mikey has proved. Mikey's been 4 divisions and fought bigger names on higher plateaus and higher. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't trust a lot of these people in boxing. I don't trust a lot of fans because they say shit that they know they ain't trying to see out. Everybody should be pushing for Teofimo. Show me something with Teofimo and Lomachenko, right? Show me something there, and then we could talk about the more experienced guys like Gervonta Tank Davis and what's the name, Mikey Garcia. Yeah, see,
This is the real deal.
I'm trying my best because there's different levels of boxing fan, but I gotta just say, y'all don't know shit about boxing. People are looking at Mikey Garcia based on his last performance, and then Lomachenko. Like, you can't just go performance for performance when the echelon of competition and the variables are nowhere near alike. Because if Lomachenko moved up 2 weight classes, they both started, Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko started in the same weight class as pros, right? They both started like featherweight, right? So if Lomachenko would have just jumped to 147 and fought Errol Spence, it would probably look the same way. It'd probably be worse. Because we don't know, you know, if you think Errol Spence at 147 would just sit there like Crolla and get bodied, then you shouldn't even watch my channel, bro. Like, if you just think it's some one-sided shit at 147, just don't even watch my channel. Shout out to Robert Singleton, $2 super chat. You ain't Floyd or Bud if you got to move down. That's what I'm saying. So to me, it kind of kills off the pound for pound conversation if you're even talking about moving down, and ESPN even feels the need to say that you're really a 130. So you basically moved up to 135, haven't fought the guys that would show us the most of what you can do, and you already talked about moving back down. Then isn't that the opposite of pound for pound? Like, Andre Ward was pound for pound for all the stuff he did at super middleweight, Super 6, Chad Dawson, blah, 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 Edwin Rodriguez. Then he moved up and beat an undefeated Sullivan Barrera, beat Brand, and then beat Kovalev. So he solidified his spot. You get what I'm saying? He solidified his spot. You know, so to me, I don't know. Well, I do know. But everyone wants to give this premature narrative. But we can't. Let's see. I got to see Lomachenko fight somebody that I think could even have the chance to beat him, and see him do that to them. Like, look at y'all crazy. The odds were 100 to 1, and then because he looked sharp, motherfuckers is surprised. That's just like when Triple G fought Willie Monroe. Similar odds. It was like 50-1, 80-1. Like, what the fuck y'all think was gonna happen? That's why if you bet on Crolla and he would have won, you would have won a lot of money. Block Alex Jones. Get these motherfuckers out of my shit, bruh. I'm not here for fanboyism and all that. Go somewhere else. Block Alex Jones. Get him the fuck out of my shit. Thank you. You know, this is always a story. Motherfuckers remain quiet when the performance isn't, you know, up to par or adequate. Like the Pedraza, Linares, where it was like, eek. You know, there were some oh shit moments. And then they try to come anew when the performance is good. Like I said, Lomachenko did his thing. He was sharp. But who was he sharp? He was sharp against a guy with 5 losses. He was sharp against a guy who was 100-1 underdog. So if we can't consider that, then what are we even watching boxing for? So you mean to tell me, like, I'm a grown-ass man, over 6 feet tall, over 200, I don't even know how much I weigh now, but over like 230, 240 pounds. So if I go to a elementary school and punch a 5th grader and knock him out, y'all give me credit for it? Come on, bro. So obviously that is going to mean something. If I went up to Triple H or somebody who's bigger than me or The Rock and then I knock them out, then obviously that's going to be more of a fair fight. That's going to be something that you would have no choice but to give me credit for. Stop playing. You know, people act like we can't consider the variables of the fight. Like we just have to ignore that Crolla had a horrible game plan. But beyond that, that was his choice. That he had 5 losses, that he lost. He had a draw and a loss to a guy Lomachenko already beat. Come on, bro. Like, listen. You feel like they got me staying out of. This is Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, there's one way to. If you don't, put it this way. This is the great thing. This is the great thing with new media. If what I'm saying is not true, then let's see it. Put Teofimo, he's with Top Rank, and put Vasyl Lomachenko in their very next fight. I don't give a fuck about mandatories. I don't care about unifications. Put them in the ring together against each other. I will pay for the pay-per-view. You know, hell, I'll even do a raffle and, you know, pay for someone else's pay-per-view. I don't care because I don't give a fuck about money. So let's see it. You know, what are we talking about? If everyone's gonna get treated like Crolla, that's cool. But you got to show me that. Let me see that. Listen.
What do you make of that?
What I make of it, they got me staying at a different hotel because they don't want me and him to interact right now. They have me staying. They told me I'm not allowed in the hotel that he's at.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Teofimo.
From him saying that.
You feel like he just
and
didn't want
when he found out I went to that hotel, he just moved to another one.
Really?
Yeah, today.
So he's avoiding you or?
So that's from Teofimo. Teofimo says I was directed that they don't want me to interact with him. They don't want me to interact with Lomachenko. And he says, so they put me in a different hotel. You know, I'm allowed to go to the fight, but they put me in a different hotel. And then he said, I went there anyway, and I heard he switched hotels. I don't know if it's true, but this is what Teofimo is saying on camera, and he's saying it to the Boxing Voice. Shout out to them. You know? So, like I said, it's a good fight, good build. I mean, let's settle it. You know, but people, the boxing is so emotional. They don't want you to, if they want you to just sit there and bow down and kiss the ground someone walks on without considering anything. They don't want you to, there's no context. There's no put in perspective. There's no nothing. They just want you to say, oh, Lomachenko's the greatest ever. If you want that, go watch ESPN, because that's what they was doing. I'm not here for that. I don't have anything against Lomachenko. I don't have anything against any of these fighters. But I'm not gonna be unrealistic. I just told you, Loma did his thing. I gave him every round. He looked sharp. He got a brutal, good knockout. He moves on. He advances. I don't know what Anthony Crolla, but you can't tell me that how to respond, or this wasn't a shock. Who picked Anthony? Name one credible channel that put out a fight prediction and vehemently said that Anthony Crolla was going to destroy Lomachenko and or beat him and or stopped him. Stop playing. What are you guys doing? I don't even understand what you're doing right now. Nobody thought that. they asked Andre Ward on this telecast before the fight even started, and Andre Ward was like, "Ooh, if I'm being serious, you know, I'm not gonna say it's absolutely hopeless, but I give him a very slim chance." That's what they said before the fight started. So everyone wants to act brand new. Not everyone. There's a lot of egos army in here, you know. But I'm talking about the man fans. They want to act brand new, like you proved something to me. Congrats, Lomachenko. You beat Anthony Crolla. You just gave him his 6th loss. Salute. He looks sharp. But like I said, to give me a real indicator of how good he can be, I have to see him do that to somebody that I know and respect and know for a fact on paper can give him a tough fight. I never thought Anthony Crolla was the guy to beat him. I never requested this fight. You get what I'm saying? So Lomachenko, he just did what he did. They said they had about 10,000 people in there, so shout out to him for that. Jonathan Guy, $2 super chat. Ego, what do you feel is the real holdup?
This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal.
Ego, what do you feel the real holdup is? Tio. I don't get what the question is. What do you mean? The holdup is I don't think the powers that be or somebody don't want to make the fight. That's what I think it is. Lomachenko told Teofimo he got to get a belt first. That's going to take forever. Teofimo already said, because we don't know what's going on with Mikey's WBC belt. And Comey is just coming off an injury, which is why Lomachenko couldn't fight him. That's what they said. So how's Teofimo, who said he's moving up after this year and he's not going to wait around, and he said he wants to fight the champions right now, how is he going to schedule a fight with Richard Comey when he has a fight on Crawford Khan? Schedule a fight. I know Tio is uncle, but I thought he accidentally put that and I thought he was referring to Tio, Teo. Because I'm not his uncle. So I didn't think he was calling me that. Yeah, Loma got a knockout in like the 5th round. Hey, listen, new media, we destroying them. Kim, watch me show you. Watch me show you how this works. I'll prove it. All right, Kim says, listen, where'd the comment go? What? Damn, you guys are typing fit. Kim says Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis are not ready for Lomachenko yet. So Anthony Crolla going into the fight with 5 losses and he's been stopped before, so he was ready? Is that what you're telling me? So Miguel Mariaga, he was ready coming off of a loss to Oscar Valdez? These dudes don't know boxing, I'm telling you. They just going off of emotion, fumes. I promise you that. So you could justify Lomachenko versus Jason Sosa, who had no amateur pedigree. He had like 10 fights, 8 fights, something like that. But Teofimo has an amateur pedigree, and he's been looking the part at least, but he ain't ready. But Jason Sosa was ready, you know. Miguel Mariaga, immediately off of a loss to Oscar Valdez, he was ready. You know, Crolla has 5 losses, including a stoppage loss to Jorge Linares, who Lomachenko already stopped. He was ready, but these other guys aren't ready. Come on, bro. This is why they can't outthink us, because they know what they're saying doesn't make sense. Block Cripson. Block Cripson. Cripson, yeah. Shout out to my shooters. They holding it down. See, and this is what I'm saying. People are making fun of Clarissa Shields' fight. She's fighting somebody who's bigger than her. She's fighting someone who has more pro fights than her. She's fighting someone who has more knockouts than Clarissa Shields has pro fights. That's a good fight. So if Clarissa Shields comes out on the winning end, then yeah, I'm going to give her a lot of credit. Like I said, I ration and rationalize with what I'm seeing. If Clarissa Shields, being the shorter, smaller woman, beats the bigger girl with more fights, who's undefeated, who has more knockouts than she has pro fights, then of course she has to get credit. Lomachenko just beat and stopped someone that was 100-1 underdog. And you guys expect me to, jump and scream on the Empire State Building. Shout out to him. He did what he was supposed to do. He looked sharp against that level of opposition. End of story. But again, if that's, see, everyone gets all hyped with this Nomad shit. Why didn't he Nomad Jose Pedraza? Jose Pedraza was getting fucked up in the 11th round. He didn't quit. There was no quit in him, right? So again, I got to see you do that, like a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, even like anybody like that. Somebody like reduce. I'm not saying these guys are all ready to fight him, but I'm just saying if I seen you in with at least them, that shows me something. Like, damn, you made one of these youthful Teofimo Lopez's or whatever not throw any punches in their power punchers. That would be different. Ego, you see Lomachenko apologize to Eddie Hearn? Nah, why? What did he do to Eddie Hearn? I don't even know what he did to Eddie Hearn to even apologize for stopping his man. Hey, Loma's a fool. he apologized for stopping Crolla like that. Listen, these guys. Listen, I'm about to get something to eat in a minute because these guys are true idiots. Nick says, are you kidding, Ryan Garcia? I just specifically said a list of people. You choose one person that I said yes, if Lomachenko were to limit one of these young kids who are power punchers to throwing no punches, that would be more impressive to me. But I didn't just say Ryan Garcia. I just specifically said Ryan Garcia. I'm not saying all of these guys are ready for him, but you pick and choose what you want to hear. That's not how this channel works. It's not how it works at all. Oh, are you serious, Ryan Garcia, man? I just specifically told you. I was just listing out names. But yeah, that would, if Lomachenko made Ryan Garcia, to me, if he stopped him like that and dominated every single round, I'm not saying Ryan Garcia would beat him, but he has at least power and speed and youth, you know, to get somebody up off him. So to me, that would be more impressive than beating a guy who's 100-1 underdog, even though Ryan Garcia lacks that pro level experience to probably be in the ring with Lomachenko right now. But yeah, if he made him do that, then like stopped him like that, face down and all that, yeah, I would give him. Ryan Garcia ain't even been stopped, but this wasn't about Ryan Garcia particularly. Once again, you guys, because you have small minds, you take one aspect of what I said. I said Teofimo, I said Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, somebody like that, right? I didn't just say Ryan Garcia and just leave it like that. Even if he did it to Pacquiao, if he did all that to Pacquiao, what he just did to Anthony Crolla to Pacquiao at 140, since he said he could fight Conor McGregor at 145, then yeah, I would give him props, because that's, you did what Marquez did. If you face down Pacquiao. Block Chris B. Shout out to Robert Singleton, $2 super chat. The bigger the risk, the more the hurdles. Exactly. I mean, we know that, bro. This happens literally every time I go live. Immediately after the fight, there's a slew of casuals that are never here with the regular chats, coming in drunk and, you know, just saying stupid shit. Block Vlade passed. Yeah, we gonna leave you in the past. Yeah, Vlade passed. See, they didn't know. They must be new here. They don't know what we got going on. Yeah, Vlade passed. Yeah, we got you. He fights like negative 910 champions out of 13 fights he has, though. That's pretty good. Talk about Loma versus Mikey. Listen, it's a good fight. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. It's a good fight. Mikey Garcia, I don't know how he's going to be, because he took a lot of sustained punishment. Even though he didn't get dropped or stopped, he took a lot of punishment in the Errol Spence fight. So I don't know how comfortable, and he ballooned up and, like, you know, gained weight. So it's a good fight. It's if Mikey didn't do that, I would comfortably pick Mikey. But the timing, I don't know. Just because Lomachenko's coming off of a sharp stoppage win, and he hasn't lost since Salido, versus Mikey Garcia just took his worst career loss. So the timing, But if it was before, when Mikey was undefeated, I would comfortably pick Mikey. Shout out to Z. Bro, every time I go live immediately after, it's just a bunch of casuals that come And they're like, oh, yeah, you're hated. You know, they be drunk. They off that new Ciroc. I think Ciroc came out with like a watermelon flavor. So they off Ciroc, you know. Mikey ain't shit. Okay, K-Town. This is how I'm destroying all y'all dudes with these stupid arguments. So, if you had $100 to pay for ESPN Plus, right, for one fight, before this fight happened, Lomachenko versus Anthony Crolla or Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia, what would you pick? Do you honestly mean to tell me you would rather, if you had to spend money on $100 on the pay-per-view, you would rather see Lomachenko fight Anthony Crolla or $100 on Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia? Come on, bro. We all know the answer. So you could say Mikey sucks and Mikey weak and all this dumb shit, but if this was a paper, this is why they didn't even put the fight. They put it on a Friday, didn't even put it on the ESPN network. The fight came on at like midnight East Coast time. There's a reason for that, because it wasn't a huge fight, just like Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwartz. So stop playing. You know, so this is how you easily dissect these guys' points. Because they're, oh, Mikey sucks and he's trash. Okay, so you would honestly really try to convince me that you would rather see Lomachenko versus Crolla and Miguel Mariaga and guys like that over Mikey Garcia, over Teofimo. Stop it. Over Gervonta Tank Davis. We already know it's a better fight. Like I said, to impress people. See, okay, here's the thing. Errol Spence just took someone and made him look an elite fighter, made him look very average and look worse than we've ever seen anyone else make him look. Weight advantage or not. Right? Miguel Mariaga, Vasyl Lomachenko's face was tattered up after that fight. He was coming off of a loss and he moved up and waited and fought Lomachenko. Lomachenko didn't dominate him in the way Errol Spence dominated Mikey Garcia, you know? And then you look at Anthony Crolla, Lomachenko dominated him and got the stoppage, but Anthony Crolla's been stopped before. He has like 5 losses before going into this fight. He had 5 losses. So you have to look at the elevated. Errol Spence fought an undefeated Mikey. What are we talking about? So stop playing with me. You guys say crazy shit, you know, just to try to be difficult, but you look crazy. You look crazy. Nobody believes it. You give credit to Errol Spence because, yeah, a guy was coming up in weight, but it was like the best guy to come up in weight. You know what I'm saying? Like Errol Spence versus like Richard Comey. No one would want to see that. Probably not Dennis Shafikov or, you know, Robert Easter or Javier Fortuna. So Mikey was if anybody would have been able to go from lightweight to give issue to Errol, it would have been Mikey. And then he got dismantled. Lomachenko, he looked good, but he looked good against a guy we all know he was favored to look good against. Some of you motherfuckers were saying Mikey was stronger and would beat Errol Spence. That's the difference. That's the difference. A lot of people, like, let's say Wilder last year, when he fought Luis Ortiz, there was a lot of people that said he's windmill Wilder and chicken leg Wilder, and they said Luis Ortiz is going to knock him out. Even Bermain Stavern, they said Bermain Stavern at the time. Go look at the old from the first Bermain Stavern fight. Go look at the old videos and read the comments from 2012 or whenever that fight was. There were a lot of people picking Stavern. A lot of people that said Luis Ortiz could win. Some people said that Mikey Garcia could beat Errol. Even celebrity boxers. You know, that's why Errol Spence was taunting them. You know, George Foreman and Sugar Ray Leonard and all these guys said Mikey could win. So to see Errol dismantle him, you know, in that fashion where he can't win no rounds, that's amazing. That's clinical breakdown. Lomachenko looked real good, but he looked real good against a guy that we knew he was, you know, on paper capable of beating. There were no surprises there. Robert Singleton, $2 super chat. Crolla got stopped by a journeyman too. That's what I'm saying. These dudes don't understand. They either don't understand boxing, don't care, or they're just casuals and, you know, man fans, stuff like that. Like, that's why it don't work. You can't do that on my channel, man. Like, that's not how the game works. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. Lomachenko, he did his thing. He looked sharp. But you can't force me to not consider who he fought. Like I can't take that into consideration. I just got to say, oh, he's the greatest ever. Come on, bro. That's not how that works. Watch this. See now y'all done fucked up. Look. This is Anthony Crolla, since you guys think you know. 34, 7, and 3. Now he has the 7th loss. So he has 6 losses. He had 13 knockouts. So his knockout percentage is 30%. You guys see that? 30%. So he had more fights than Lomachenko. He's 32, a 30% knockout ratio, and he just lost, making it his 7th fight, right? Lost to Jorge. See, this is all I have to do on y'all. Lost to Jorge Linares by a unanimous decision. He lost twice to Jorge Linares. He lost to somebody named Gary Sykes at this 136 and a half weight. So he lost to a guy with a 21-2-0 record. You guys see this? It was a 3-rounder, and he lost a split decision. He fought and got knocked out right here. This week got knocked out by Derry Matthews. So at this weight class, he got knocked out by Derry Matthews, who at the time had a record of 29-6-1. So if you don't expect me to honestly take these things into consideration, then you're a fucking fool. This is all I gotta do. So he lost to a guy with a record of 29-6-1. Period. So that's good. He did his thing, but it's not like nobody rated Anthony Crolla like as a world beater. See, this is what you guys do. Okay, he's a mandatory. That's cool. But you got to put the win in perspective. For example, who would have picked, let's say Mikey Garcia didn't go up and fight Errol Spence. That was a bad look for him, right? Someone said look up to see when Crolla last had a stoppage. Okay, that's a good one. I'll do that for the fans. Listen, y'all got to smash the like button. If you want me to look up, go back to Crolla and see his last stoppage, y'all got to smash the like button. And can I get a hell yeah? Type hell yeah in the comment section. I'll go back. I'll pull it up for the fans. Cinnamon Savage, this is what I do. I'm chopping these boys up. I'm chopping them up. If type hell yeah in the comment section if you want me to go back to see when the last guy, because I don't even know that off the top of my head, right? I don't know off the top of my head. So that's what I'm saying. He had a 30% knockout ratio. Like, how can I? Of course, I'm going to take that into consideration. I mean, that's the whole purpose of boxing. All right, I'm going to do it. The fans want me to do it. So this is his record. Now it's 7, but before going into it, he had been stopped twice, and he had 6 losses. He has 13 knockouts for 30%. 30%. So the last time Crolla stopped somebody was right here. Ishmael Barroso in 2016. So Cinco de Mayo weekend basically in 2016. He fought the guy, whoever this guy is, who I've never heard of. And he stopped him by KO. Let's see how he's doing right now in his career. So look, he's lost since then too. This is who he stopped. Schmiegel looking motherfucker and shit. My precious. Like, who the fuck is this, bro? Y'all need to stop playing with me, man. If you don't know boxing, then get out of here. Or just sit back and learn something. Yeah, so his last stoppage in 2016. So again, who expected him to win? Like who? Like you guys got to put it in perspective. That's why I said if he did that to Teofimo, I've been checking for Teofimo. I've watched all of his recent fights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he beat. And that last person he knocked out was Schmiegel. My precious. Like, come on, bro. So he looked good, he looked sharp, but again, I can't not. Okay, put it this way. I'm the king of analogies. I got one for y'all. All right, peep it. Let's say all of us, all the fellas, I'm gonna leave the girls out if there's any women watching. This is just for the fellas. Here's an analogy. I'm the king of analogy. I got one for y'all. Let's say we all go to the same club. We're at, one of them nice clubs in Miami, right? And I'm there. And there's gorgeous females walking all around the club. Skin tight dresses, smell good, look good, hair good, nails done. They whipped, right? Yeah, I do rap. But everyone in the club, it's a good looking crowd. The women look great, smell great, dress great, curves galore, right? If I took one home, if I took a female home, that's one thing. You could be like, oh, ego's the man. But wouldn't you take into consideration who the fuck I took home? So you mean to tell me you'll say, oh, ego's a Mac, ego's a player, ego be pulling women. And I pulled Rasputia, I pulled Precious. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't take that into consideration. You'd just be like, yo, I give it up. Ego's a man. He left the club with the girl. Of course you would. You would have to take into consideration who the fuck I'm leaving with. I could be leaving with anything. If I left with Caitlyn, y'all would be like, oh, ego's a man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, stop it. But if I left with, a Kardashian or some shit, then y'all would be like, oh, he the man. If I left with, a bad one, then y'all would have to bow down. Man, I ain't out of pocket. I'm perfectly in pocket. I'm in pocket like a socket. Let's get it, bro. I'm like a wallet the way I'm in pocket. So you guys are full of shit. You know for a fact that obviously the greater the woman, if I pulled a dime, then y'all gonna give me props and be like, damn, ego really pulled him one. I pull this girl. She got a big old Natalie Nunn chin and shit. Her chin look like Jay Leno. Y'all would not give me no props. Shut that shit up, bro. She look like Bosco and shit from LA. You would not give me no props for that. Hey, like blood, like let's go to Denny's, blood. Hey. If she look like Bosco, y'all just be, oh, ego pulled it one. Like, come on, bro. Like blood, like for real blood. Like, box your stupid, shut your goofy ass up, blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would obviously take that into consideration. That's my point. Y'all better stop spreading rumors. Someone said ego leave with Precious. Yeah, these dudes be goddamn liars, bro. Yeah, you would obviously consider who I left with. Now, if I left with something fine, yeah. Cinnamon Savage said, I'm leaving with Felicia. If she was like, ego, man, let me borrow your parking permit. I'll give it right back. Like, Craig, you wouldn't give me no credit for pulling no Felicia. Ego, let me borrow your lamp. Man, hell nah. Most people want to borrow sugar, even coffee. You want to borrow a goddamn lamp? Hell nah. Like, stop it. So, again, props to Crolla. He laces him up. But I have to put that into consideration for how Loma looked. If you do that to, like, when Ward beat Kovalev, that's clearly going to be better than when Ward beat Sullivan Barrera, or when Ward beat, even more of an example, Alexander Brandt. That's just how that goes. I'm not going to give Ward, see, this is what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, I'm the king of this shit. I practice what I'm preaching. He beat Alexander Brandt, easy work. I knew he could do that. The whole world knew he could do it. But he moved up in weight and then took on Kovalev and beat him twice. That's clearly going to be something you have to give him more props for. See how this works? So I give props to Lomachenko for doing what he wanted with a guy who's a former champion. Cool. But obviously, I have to take the opponent. It's not even the Lomachenko thing. See, you guys are such man fans and groupies that you don't. Just like if Canelo knocks out Daniel Jacobs, I'm giving him more props than if he just knocked out Rocky Fielding. This is common fucking sense. This is not even just, that's what I'm saying. People are trying, oh, stop hating on Lomachenko. It's not even a Loma thing. See, look at Sanad Tada. It says, so you're obviously, oh, I got you. It says, so you're obviously a Loma hater. Shooters, leave him alone. How am I, oh my gosh, I can't even get no word. Just leave him blocked. How am I hating on Loma when I just told you the same rules apply for everybody? So you mean to tell me if Canelo knocks out Daniel Jacobs, who has a belt, and he just knocked out Rocky Fielding, you give the same amount of credit? Sanad Tada, you back. So you're going to give Canelo the same credit for knocking out Rocky Fielding, a champion, or Daniel Jacobs? You think those two victories, if Canelo can knock out both, you think they deserve the same amount of credit? That's what you're trying to tell me. It says, because through all the stream, nah, fuck all that. Will you give Canelo more credit? I'm not listening to anything. You have 10 seconds to respond. If Canelo knocks out Jacobs, do you give him the same amount of credit, more or less, than when he knocked out Rocky Fielding? If you say anything that doesn't answer this question, shooters, remove him, and he's not coming back. So good luck, Sanad. You said I was hating, so explain your way out of this in the hot seat. If Canelo knocks out Jacobs, you mean to tell me you're honestly going to give him the same amount of credit for knocking out Jacobs as knocking out a champion in Rocky Fielding? Is that what you're really trying to tell me? You should have waved the white flag. Now I'm on you. So let's see what's taking Sanad. Cat got your tongue? Sanad Tada. You accused me of being a Loma hater, but then I told you the same rule applies for all these fighters. Obviously, you have to consider who he's beating, he or she. I even used Clarissa Shields as an example. Now I'm using Canelo. Once again, will you give Canelo more credit or the same amount of credit? Has he proven something greater to you in defeating Jacobs by knockout than beating Rocky Fielding? Yeah, real brother, count him down. Look, now we waiting. We gonna give you a proper burial. Come on, Sanad. You said I was hating. That shit don't work over here. You see how he won't answer the question now? I asked a direct question. He don't know how to answer because they're so used to just saying whatever. Oh, you're hating. But then when it comes time to explain it, they can't do it. Hey, the countdown is getting close, man. Sanad, you gotta do something, baby. Hey, Sanad, everybody listen. Hey, where's Sanad at? Yeah, where's Sanad at? Hey, Sanad, time's up. What's your final answer? Please, I can't hold these shooters back much longer. Please say your final answer. Do you give Canelo the same credit if he knocks out Jacobs that you gave him for? He said, blocked me like a biatch. Get him. You just conceded. You just conceded to me. Bow down, kiss the pinky ring. And now he called me a shook bitch. Okay, thank you for playing. Y'all tell me who won. I asked him, but he said, listen, this is what people do. They project their innermost fears. He refused to answer a simple question, but then he said, I'm shook. I'm shook, but you won't answer the question. Okay. Okay. Now you see why I'm TB ego. Okay. I'm shook, but you won't answer. You refuse to answer a simple question. The question was simple. Will you give Canelo the same amount of credit for knocking out Daniel Jacobs that you gave? If Mikey Garcia would have knocked out Errol Spence, would you give him the same credit that you gave him for knocking out Dejan Zlaticanin? These are simple questions. So like I told y'all, see, they want to try so bad. They want to come for new media. My shooter's holding it down. Okay, I'm TB Eagle, motherfucker. They want to try so bad. Oh, you're just hating on this. It's not even about Lomachenko at this point. It's about the level of competition, and it doesn't change. And these motherfuckers know it because they be the first ones to say, oh, Wilder, when's he good? 40 fights and 40 bums, and he's fighting Dominic Brazil. But they ain't got shit to say for Tyson Fury fighting the worst competition, after claiming victory. They don't have shit to say about Triple G might fight Steve Jelly Rolls Johnson or whatever the fuck his name is. Stop playing. I told you, we the new regime. These casuals is not on the level. Again, Lomachenko, he did his thing. You get more credit when you took a higher risk. Shane Mosley moving up 2 weight classes to fight Oscar De La Hoya. That's impressive. If Mikey would have beat Errol, how would you not give him more credit for knocking out Errol than he got for knocking out Dejan Zlaticanin? Yeah, Dejan Zlaticanin, that was a crazy knockout. But if he did that to Errol Spence, then of course you're going to give him credit. And you're going to give him more credit. That's just how that works. So if you take a little pop quiz, a 5-question test in in one of your classes, and then you ace that, a 5-question multiple choice test versus passing your SATs. Come on, people. It's really not hard to understand. If you pass a class or you graduate from high school, what is the bigger accomplishment? This is trivial stuff. If you pass a 5-question pop quiz and get an A on that versus you get a high score on the SAT, clearly these are different tests. So clearly you're going to get more recognition for that. You can't go to nobody's job talking about, look, I got an A on this pop quiz, this 5-question pop quiz. But if you do have a diploma, if you do have high SAT scores, that might matter. So again, congrats to Lomachenko. I got to see that same, everything he just did right now, against somebody that I think has a chance and snowball's chance in hell to beat him. Period. I seen Wilder. I seen someone that had a chance to beat him. Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz. And that was a knockout win for Wilder and a draw. Right? People said Tyson Fury could beat him. Tyson Fury's bigger and a better boxer than Wilder. And he ended in a draw. And then Luis Ortiz, some people said he was going to knock him out. Bermane Stiverne, they said he was going to knock him out in the first fight. Right? So, like I said, Lomachenko will get even more credit if he does the same thing he did tonight to Teofimo Lopez, to Gervonta Davis, to Mikey Garcia. Because those guys, in my mind, based on what they've proven, and I don't really think you can even dispute this, they've done more. They're more respected, higher rated. Tank has no losses versus Crolla came into this fight with 6 losses, including 2 by stoppage. Come on, man. These boys are getting fucked up. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. We working. It's that simple. And like I said, people try, oh, you're hating on Loma because they're emotional. They're emotional man fans. It's not even to do with Loma. It has something to do with boxing. The better the comp. So if Anthony Joshua knocks out Carlos Takam, you're going to give him the same credit if he knocks out Wilder. When the risk is higher, the implications higher. Wilder has a better resume than Takam, better wins than Takam, is taller than Takam, has more power. You guys sound idiotic. You mean to tell me Anthony Joshua gets to say, if he knocks out Takam versus knocking out Wilder, you gonna give him the same amount of credit? Come on, bro. Of course, if he knocked out Wilder, the implications are higher, the stakes are higher. You know, Wilder's the biggest puncher in boxing. he's tall and Tackham's short. You know, you're going to look at all the variables. You're going to look at where Wilder's at in his career, how he matches up size-wise, how much power he has in his hands, his athleticism, his resume. You're going to look at all these things, his confidence. You're going to look at all these things and decide, you know, and it's pretty easy to see that Wilder is a bigger threat to Joshua, vice versa, than Carlos Takam is to either of those guys. Oh my gosh, I've been putting it down. That's an hour-long massacre. I'm going to go get something to eat. Shout out to Lomachenko. I got to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lomachenko, Teofimo versus Lomachenko, or Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko. Loma's good. He looked sharp tonight. He beat a guy that was 100-1 underdog. 10,000 people showed up. Cool. Keep it moving. Let's see how it plays out. But with what we know, especially if there's a pound for pound being mentioned, I got to see it. You just took care of your mandatory, so you should be good. So let's see Lomachenko fight a guy like Teofimo. If he does the same thing, I promise you, like always, I will give credit. I don't, why I got to hide credit from somebody? That would actually impress me too. Like, damn, he slept Teo if he can do it. But Teofimo said he switched hotels and didn't want to be in the same hotel. So we got to see how it plays out. And more so than the Tank Davis fight, I'm not against the Tank Davis fight, but we know the co-promotional complications of Top Rank working with the big fight with Mayweather Promotions. Floyd Mayweather said Arum owes him money still. So we talking about different shit. Teofimo is an in-house fight that they can build. If they want to, then they can build it. That should be easy to get done. You know, so more so than Tank or Mikey, Teofimo, just because it's a ready-made fight. So if that don't happen next, and then, you know, Co-May happens or something like that, then we'll know what it is. We'll know what it is. Like I said, even if Lomachenko did what he did tonight to Pacquiao at 140, I would give him credit. I'll give him a lot of credit for that. So, you know, that's just the reality of it. You guys want to act like who you're fighting doesn't matter. Okay. But yeah, ESPN commentary, I think they got to improve it. Like, you know, Mark Kriegel was doing poems and stuff. Tim Bradley was, he like Tim Bradley he's not good with names. He was calling Zurdo Ramirez, his opponent's name is Tommy Karpinski, and he was like, Karpinski, car keys, you know, the car cylinder. Like, you're not even saying it, Karpinski. He was saying his name crazy. Just like when Tim Bradley was in Australia for the Jeff Horn Pacquiao fight. He's like, yeah, man, this is a great crowd in Argentina. Like, Argentina? Who the fuck is Romeo? That's really weird. He said, Romeo, is that you? Who are you? Supposed to be Juliet or something? Y'all on some Shakespeare. Y'all some like weirdos, bro. That motherfucker said, are you Romeo? Is that you? I ain't no dude Romeo. I don't know what you talk about. Hey, you wildin', bro. Damon Zarate. Look at the names and the people doing the most hating. You wouldn't give Loma credit for Co-May. Bro, do you? Okay, so you think, what's a more difficult fight for Lomachenko? Teofimo or Co-May? Based on styles. Forget belts. Based on styles. What is the more difficult fight to you? I ain't sleepy. I'm sleeping these people in the hot seat. What is the more difficult fight to you in your brain? Teofimo Lopez at 135, a top-ranked fighter versus top-ranked fighter Vasyl Lomachenko. What is the tougher fight? Or Co-May? Please let me know. What, in your opinion? Don't be scared now. Don't be scared now, I said. What is the more difficult fight? He said just a question. Shook ones. Halfway crooks. See how they don't want to answer these simple questions. Comey lost back-to-back fights. He lost to Easter, and then he lost to Denis Shafikov. So, yeah, he has power. That'll be a better fight than Crolla. But, again, I would rather see Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia, Gervonta Davis, or Teofimo Lopez. Hell, even Devin Haney. Those fights would show me more. Devin Haney, he talked to me specifically. I have the video. He said he wants Lomachenko. He called out. He's a free agent. I would love to see that. Those fights, even though those guys aren't necessarily all champions, except for Mikey, that shows me more. Styles make fights. It's not just about belts, because there's different ways to get belts. Someone could have got a belt at a time when the division was weak and fought for a vacant title. So, yeah, of course, a belt holder is an accomplishment and stuff like that. But Richard Comey has 2 losses. It's not just about losing. Teofimo has no loss. So I want to see how Lomachenko, that could be what Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo. Let's see Lomachenko do that to Teofimo. You get what I'm saying? Styles make fights. Anthony Crolla literally was not throwing punches. I don't know how he's expecting to win. He wasn't even throwing that many punches. So I don't know. He's shelling up. I mean, you letting Loma get off on you. So it looked like the end was near. Only in boxing do you see the dumb shit from the casuals where there's someone who's 100-1 underdog, and then when the outcome plays out, like the dramatic odds, then they act surprised. What are you surprised about? You know what I'm saying? The odds for Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence weren't 100-1. As the fight wore on and got closer to fight week, a lot of people started changing their picks and going with Loma, seeing that he went to snack and that he was confident and that his body was looking filled out. The dude wasn't even throwing no punches. It looked like the end was near. So Top Rank's good with matchmaking. That's why they put him in there with them. I don't even know Richard Comey, how bad he was injured, but that would have been a more difficult fight. And conveniently, that fight didn't happen next. He said Loma versus Cheddar Bob on ESPN minus. Hey, you wildin', dog. Smash the like button. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't, like I said, Anthony Crolla, he wasn't really even throwing any punches. I don't expect, you can't beat a guy like Loma. See, I always look at fighters and I look at, ways to beat them. You can't beat Lomachenko by letting him get into a rhythm and do whatever the fuck you want. That's just like Pacquiao. You can't just not throw with Pacquiao. You're going to have to take some type of risk, And the thing is, Lomachenko, he usually starts off slow. These dudes got to be more Maidana versus Broner. Yeah, Alvarado got knocked out pretty bad. I seen the Barboza fight. But like I said, this is just standard boxing. Because I say the same thing with everybody. Gilberto Ramirez, I give him credit. He moved up, took on Tom Carpensy, broke his rib, made him quit. Cool. But I can't act like he just did that to Kovalev or someone like Anthony Yard that has some momentum, is, diesel in shape. I can't act like he did that to Artur Beterbiev, who I know has power to hurt, other light heavyweights. I can't act like he did that against Vodstick, So what are we talking? He didn't do that to Marcus Brown. So, again, yeah, I take the wins. I take them in consideration with the opponent you're in there with. Momentum, styles make fights. Somebody brought up the movie Penitentiary. I'm going to get something to eat. Shout out to Iowa. I see y'all. Loma has skills too, but okay, put it this way. If Lomachenko is the next Muhammad Ali, when can I see him fight somebody like Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali fought guys that were supposed to beat him. Sonny Liston, George Foreman. So can I see Lomachenko fight someone that some people might feel can knock him out? That's what I'm saying. Until he does that, there's no comparison.
This the real deal. This the real deal. This the real deal.
He got a long way to becoming Muhammad Ali. B's Pugilist 97, $10 super chat. Look, they know what it is. Lomachenko beat another bum. This is the hype train, the white train at work. Wow. His resume does not equal someone like Canelo or Terrence Crawford. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's the same thing all around the world. Same. The winner of Canelo Jacobs, they get my full-fledged respect. If there's no bullshit victory and, you know, somebody stops someone or wins decidedly, then that's a bomb-ass fight, and they really need pound-for-pound consideration, whoever the person is. This was not that. Y'all can play these games all you want. Canelo beating Triple G, and then if he beats Jacobs, is far better than Linares, whoever the fuck, Pedraza, and then Toyota Corolla. Canelo moved up, beat big-ass Chavez Jr., beat the shit out of him, then fought Golovkin twice, had a draw and a victory, so never officially lost to Golovkin. Then he fought Rocky Fielding, just a guy 8 pounds higher who was bigger, limited skill, limited experience, been stopped before. But then if he beats Jacobs and he looks good, then of course, this dude is like on some pound for pound shit. It's not hard to see because he's taking huge risks. Triple G was a risk. People said Triple G was going to knock him out. Then after he failed the drug test, he came back looking skinny or skinnier. Motherfucker said he off the meat. He going to get knocked out this time. Lomachenko didn't do that tonight. You remember the Street Fighter, the level where it had like a Toyota Corolla vehicle and you play like Chung Li and you just try to destroy the car in a minute or some shit? That's what we seen here tonight. Toyota Corolla got worked. You know, I hope he makes a speedy recovery. If Canelo sleeps Jacobs, then he'll get credit and he'll sleep well because he'd be the man. It was Alexis. Well, that's what we just seen tonight. Corolla didn't even throw no punches. What are we really talking about, people? So, yeah. Even Amir Khan and Crawford. To me, that's more interesting than this. Because styles make fights. Amir Khan stylistically is hard to box. You have to rough him up and try to knock him out. Go for the chin, go for the jugular. But, you know, he be each. You know, Khan be doing that each shit. So to me, that it makes more. You guys can say whatever you want. Enjoy that. I'm going to get something to eat. Everyone have a beautiful night. Shout out to Lomachenko. He did it. He beat Anthony Corolla. He gave him his 7th loss. Dope. He looked good. He looked sharp. Let's see what's next. Hopefully it's Teofimo who's on his side.